The big news coming in now from sources on the Education Ministry, which is expected to decide on exams today, and a uniform decision is expected for the entire country. Rishika joining us with the latest. Rishika, what are we hearing?
Well, Ankita, what we're hearing from our sources within the Education Ministry is that it's highly unlikely that examinations will be conducted in July. Remember, the ministry is going to be submitting a detailed reply in the Supreme Court tomorrow in the CBSE case hearing. And ahead of that reply, what we're understanding from our sources is that some examinations will be cancelled. Other essential examinations, which is presumably the medical entrance examinations or the engineering entrance examinations like the IIT JEE or the NEET, they are likely to be postponed further. What we're understanding is that sources have continued to maintain that the safety of students is paramount in the light of the rising coronavirus cases. The situation doesn't seem conducive to conduct these examinations. Remember, the board examinations were slated to begin on the 1st of July. That's in 8 days from now. We're far from flattening the curve. We're seeing a constant rise in the number of COVID-19 cases on a daily basis. So taking a view of the situation, a holistic view of the situation, sources have indicated to us that it is unlikely that examinations will take place at least in July. Some exams may be cancelled and some may be postponed to a later date.
All right, Rishika, it's interesting what you say, particularly about the competitive exams like the joint entrance exam, the NEET and other such exams. Those presumably can't be assessed on any other basis. So at some point of time, those will have to happen. But is there any indication about a possible timeline, or is it just, impossible to predict that right now?
Well, impossible to predict at the moment. Remember, examinations were cancelled, postponed in March when India had a few coronavirus cases, a few hundred cases. We're now, over 4.25 lakh cases. So it's difficult to ascertain when India will flatten the curve, when it will be okay for these examinations to be conducted. But it's also important to note here that an infrastructure will have to be built for essential examinations to take place. Remember, for even the board examinations, for students, who don't fare well or who wish to reappear, there are compartment exams that happen sometime in August. So for, some students who still intend on giving those examinations or are unhappy with the grading process, it is possible that those examinations may take place in August. But again, everything will depend on what the coronavirus situation is, where India is in the months of July and August. The only indication that we're getting as of now is that the exams that will take place, that were scheduled to take place, rather rescheduled to take place in July, are unlikely to happen. A final decision, of course, will be taken by the ministry. They will be submitting a detailed reply in the Supreme Court tomorrow. Remember, there are parents who petitioned for the cancellation of the CBSE examination. But impossible at this moment to ascertain when these examinations will take place. Remember, states, interestingly, Ankita, have in fact indicated to the HRD ministry. Some states have said that they are not in favor of conducting examinations at all. Some states have, in fact, in their discussions with the Education Ministry, even come forth and said that we're okay to conduct examinations in the green zones. But then what happens to students in red zones or orange zones, or those who are in containment zones? So the decision that will be taken is going to be uniform. It will apply to all states, all students all over the country. But the most clear indication that is coming in as per sources is that the exams will not, in all likelihood, happen in July, which is 8 days from now. Some examinations will be cancelled and a grading or an alternative grading process is being worked out, and some absolutely essential examinations will be postponed to a later date.